Hey everyone, so tonight I'm doing a review on the Marvel Legends Sentinel Build-A-Figure. This was requested by Clay, so I'm doing this review for him. And for everyone else, this is my favorite Marvel Legend. This is actually what got me started back into collecting Legends, as I just thought I'd just pick up one Sentinel and be happy, and I just loved how they looked and just kind of exploded from there. I was going to be waiting for this to do a review on them kind of a little later on, but since anytime you guys requested a figure that I have, I'll definitely do it, even if I had different plans, but because I can always just redo another one, right? So I fitted all 11 of them, so I'll kind of zoom out so you guys can kind of see this. It's on the desk. They're all stuck in there. One thing about the reason why you can never have too many of these is each one's actually painted a lot different. Well, not a lot different, but different than every one. So not all of them are the same. So as you can see, see this one for instance, the shading there is a lot more silver. On this one you can see a little more blue in the chest, where this one's got a lot more here, a little less there. That one's a lot less, and you can kind of see on their heads too. Looking at the faces, this one's got kind of like more of a dark on the top of his head. This one does not. So it's really cool. I'm definitely going to only leave a few in here. There's no way I can do this review with all 11 in here. But and I'll do it real quick. He requested this. He wanted to see Magneto up against them. He's just down here now, as you can see from below. It looks pretty insane. Just having a mass amount of these guys coming at them. It's pretty cool. All their legs. But we'll go ahead and go into the details of the figure. Hopefully I can use the camera well enough. Right now I'm just kind of holding it on the stand as best I can. These guys are pretty tall, so they definitely will not fit with the camera on its stand. So I'll go ahead and narrow it down probably to just 4. And we'll go ahead and kick this review off. Alright. Alright guys, so I have it down, I just have 4 now in here. I just kind of want to go over the front of the details of each figure, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Like with this one, got definitely a lot more silver dry brushing, scraped over the chest. This one's a little less, more blue. And same thing with this one's got more on the side here. But overall, I'll go ahead and move this guy up a little closer. I'm sorry if it's shaky, it's just really hard with these bigger figures. Go ahead and look at the face. Come on, camera. I just love the head sculpt on these. I just think it's just the best Sentinel. It's just the awesome looking Sentinel. This one's got a little bit of the green from his eyes right there. But most of them, I'll move this guy up so you guys can see like a cleaner. I didn't realize that until just now. There we go. It's got more of a slash mark across the face, but I just love the Sentinel face on these. I think it's just perfect. It very much reminds me of the cartoon look. I love all the gears you can see in the jaw, the springs, just the way that looks just looks awesome, and those lit up green eyes. Very cool. But this one's obviously got a lot more bronze around the collar. That one barely has any. Same thing with this one over here. Doesn't have too much. And then this one has a little more. Just, sorry I keep repeating myself, but it's just cool to see that even though you're buying the same Build-A-Figure over and over, they're not going to look the same at all. So it gives you more incentive to keep army building with these guys. Get as many as you can. I just think you can never have too many. Going over the rest, it's just tons of paint detail. I love it. I just love all the silver dry brushing. Each one's obviously different. I love the light in the chest. I think that looks really cool. These are more pliable rubber, but all of them have the same kind of carvings, but they're just painted differently on the shoulder pads even. You can see like slash marks, like he's been through some battles. These lift up, no problem. They're on a little hinge. And just that detailing on the ball joint is just freaking awesome. All the cables and the wiring. You can see it going into the arms. Let me turn it so you can... it just looks great. I love it. It's just so cool. You can just really stare at this figure over and over, especially if you have multiple of them. You can just see the little differences in them, and it's just so much fun. See more of the gearing along the arm, more of the armor along the arm. Also, you can see some more of the gearing. The hands are just so cool. I love this figure. I can't praise it enough. I just absolutely love it. You can see more sculpting work and more cable wiring through the arms, the joint sculpted. You can see more on the underarm. You can see more of that sculpted cabling on the inside. It's got the little blast also where their cable goes through. The fingers are individually done. Actually, I'll go over the articulation later, but I mean, look at that. It just looks so sick. I love this figure. It's just so cool. Tons of etching detail and sculpt. Just the knuckles look just mean, like just punch through walls. I mean, it's just really cool looking. The only thing I'd say out of all of it is just the ball joints. They're painted, but they're just so smooth compared to all the joints the rest of the figure. That's probably the only thing, but otherwise that's minute to me. Again, the chest looks great. You can see more of the along the armpits. Going through the midsection of the abs, you can see more of the cables and the wiring running through. Even comes down through the hips. I mean, just tons and tons of sculpted work and detail. Just so cool. Going down the legs. Again, every part of the Sentinel is painted different. It doesn't matter. You can see here, it's not nearly as purple as that one. And same thing with this one over here. You can see there's more black up here compared to this one. It has more purple. I mean, sorry, I can just go on and on. I just love that. You can see more of the cables and hydraulics in the legs. It just looks so cool. And you can see more in here and by the kneecaps. Certain kneecaps have more wear. Going down along the feet, all the feet are just worn out differently. You can see more of the cables coming down the bottom. Just looks so cool. And it's all kind of pitted and scratched, and it's been through some fights. And turning him around, going along the back, you see like along the back of the head, you can see more of the wiring, the cables inside the head. Going along the top of the head, all of them are just nice purple. I mean, again, all of them are different. It's all I will keep saying. I like the sculpted work on his back and more of that brushing, just the paint detailing. It just looks like a real, Sentinel, like that you would see walking around hunting down mutants. You can see more of the bearings in his back, more cables. Again, just tons of detail. See it again, like those ball joints I'm talking about, but otherwise not a big deal. But going through the rest of the back of the leg, you can see more of the hydraulics and cables. Even the joints been sculpted. Going down, it just kind of ends, and it's just nice, smooth, but very nicely detailed. Just badass. I mean, it's just to me, it's the best Build-A-Figure we have in Marvel Legends. That's just my opinion. But to me, it's just freaking awesome. Love it. Alright, so I'm going to try to do the best I can. I'm going to set the camera down, tilt it up for you guys. It's kind of going to be it's hard for me to see. So the head's on, oh man, this is really going to be hard. Let me see if I can just hold it. Sorry. I don't do much editing, obviously, as you can tell from my other reviews, so I'm just going to go ahead and go with it. Alright, head's on kind of a ball joint. It looks left and right. It looks up. Doing this one-handed. Not too far. It looks down about there. So, I mean, it's not crazy, but good enough. The shoulders are in a ball joint. Oh, man, sorry. Just not the best. I may probably be redoing this review on the Sentinel. Ball joint goes forward, nice and clicky. It goes out. There you go. It's got a bicep swivel. I don't pose my Sentinels too often, so I've built about 6 of them. So a lot of them are really tightly jointed. It's got a single jointed elbow. It goes up about that far. I'm going to leave him standing. Again, I'm sorry if it's shaky. It's got ball joints in the wrists, so you can fully... Sorry guys, it's just not the best camera. Can fully, rotate. Individual finger articulation, so you guys can see. Hope you guys can see good. Even the thumb moves up and down. Also, the cables. Let me grab that one that has them stuck in his hand. I'll bring him over here. Also, the cables in their hands. This one I popped them in pretty good. This one's got a looser arm. But the cables are all bendy wire, so you can definitely manipulate them how you want. Wrap, Wolverine up or whoever you want. Magneto. You can wrap them all up the way you want. But I wouldn't overly bend these, just like any bendy wire, they will break over time. But very cool. There's actually the same bendy wire as excuse me, as Omega Red. So his are a little darker, but they still pop in the Sentinel just fine. So if you ever buy a Sentinel that doesn't have the cables, it's also got a waist swivel here. You can always use Omega Red's cables to fit in his hands. Moves side to side, moves down, moves back. So he moves back about that far, moves forward. It's also got a another waist swivel that you can swivel. I'm sorry guys, if it's